Hello YouTube, I'm Azrea and welcome to my guide for the 5.0.4 patch. Today I'm going to be showing you how to gem, enchant, reforge, glyph and generally play elemental shamans to high standards. First of all, I'm going to talk about talents. Currently you have 5 available talent points, 1 for each row. Each row consists of 3 talents and the first 3 rows of an elemental shaman's talent page consists of PvP based talents. This seems to be an ongoing theme over most classes. Whichever talent you choose in these rows won't have an effect on your DPS. On the first row, I've gone for Astral Shift. This decreases damage taken by 40% for 6 seconds. It's very useful when a large amount of damage is incoming. I use it to soak Hour of Twilight on Ultraxian and help on Madness on Blistering Tentacles and Shrapnel to help healers. On the second row, I've chosen Windwalk Totem. This is very useful when raid members are afflicted with slows, stuns or roots. On the third row I have taken Totemic Projection for fights where I'll be changing position a lot. I swapped this glyph out on Madness Heroic and spec Call of the Elements instead, because I can combine this with Earthbind Totem on Congealing Bloods. On the fourth row I have chosen Elemental Mastery. However, here I change talents regularly. On fights where I get a damage increase like Zonos, Hagara, Madness Heroic and Ultraxian, I use Elemental Mastery for the burst. However, Echo of the Elements is very useful on long fights where you don't have a DPS increase. On the fifth row I've chosen Healing Tide Totem at all times, as it is one of the most important and overpowered healing cooldowns in the game, and it is very helpful on Spine and Madness, etc. Next I'm going to talk to you through glyphs. Firstly, I've gone for Flame Shock. This is a very important glyph to have, as the extra duration enables you to get an extra Earth Shock on the target before refreshing. And because it's a DPS loss to let Flame Shock tick off, not having to refresh it as often provides a few extra global cooldowns. I also have Glyph of Chain Lightning for AoE fights, but swap it out for Telluric Currents on single target fights like Ultraxian, in case of death, in order to gain mana back faster. My last major glyph is Unleashed Lightning. It is very important for movement fights, however a substantial DPS loss due to the increased cast time, so make sure you swap it out for Ultraxian, Spine and Madness. Minor glyphs don't really matter, so pick whatever you want and whatever suits you best. Okay, now on to stats. First of all, make sure you have 15% hit chance and gem and enchant for intellect wherever you can. In yellow sockets, use Artful Gems, which are intellect and mastery. Mastery should be reforged onto every piece of gear. If you go onto my armory link below, you will see every item I currently have equipped has mastery on it, apart from trinkets. If an item already has mastery on it, you can afford to lose some spirit, then reforge to haste. You should avoid crit, it sucks. Simple as that. You will notice the only crit I have is the 35 rating from my head enchant. Okay, now let's move on to rotation. Firstly, make sure you keep Flame Tongue Weapon and Lightning Shield up before a fight at all times. Firstly, I'm going to start off with my burst macro, which is here. In my burst macro, I have Fire Elemental Totem, Volcanic Potion and Elemental Mastery. Therefore I'll use this just before I pull the dummy, so it will be pretty much like pre-potting. So I'll start with that, Flame Shock, Lava Burst and spam Lightning Bolt. After Elemental Mastery finishes, I'll pop Berserking to keep the haste buff up as long as possible to retain my burst. Use Earth Shock at all times when it goes shiny, but never when it's not shiny. Elemental Mastery's fallen off, and I've popped Berserking. Keep the haste buff up. Earth Shock, and the burst, as you can see, is quite insane. When my Fire Elemental Totem runs out, I'm going to make sure I pop Searing Totem and Earth Elemental Totem. Also, when Heroism is popped on a boss fight in a raid, use your Stormlash Totem. It increases all the raid's DPS by a substantial amount. It's a very nice raid cooldown, so make sure you're using that regularly. Fire Elemental Totems run out. Earth Elemental Totem and Searing Totem go up. Refreshing Flame Shock. My other potion will be used when I next use Elemental Mastery, unless I need it for a particular part of the fight. For example, spine tendons, I would usually save it for the second. Okay, I'm going to stop there. That's pretty much all I've got to say about Elemental Shamans, guys. I'm on EU-Kazzak on Horde. So if you need anything or if you have any questions, then please log on and send me an in-game mail. Post a comment, like it, subscribe to my channel. It would help me out a lot. Thank you for watching.